Learning Zeilu Nishmas Etta Ahuva Bas Yaakov. Masechta Nedarim Perik Yud Aleph Mishna Yud Beis. Last Mishnah in the Masechta. B'Rishayna Haya Oimrim. Originally, the Chachamim said, Shalish Nashim Yotzes V'Noitlas Ksuvasa. Ksuva. There's 3 women that we forced the Baal to divorce her, and she still gets her Ksuva. The first one is Ha'imeres Tamei Anilach. If she says that I am tummy to you, meaning that I was with someone else, and it can't be biratzen because then she wouldn't get iksuva. So it has to be talking about an ashes kayin that was nensa. In that case, she would get her ksuva. The second case is where she says shamayim bini leveinecha, which the Gemara says is saying that she is claiming that he was not able to have tashmish in a way that they would be able to have children. And even though she doesn't have a chiyuv of pru revu, but she wants to have children because when she gets old, she's going to need people to take care of her. And therefore she has a right to request a get, and she would get her ksuva. The third case is netula ani mina Yehudim. She makes a neder that she doesn't want to have tashmish with anyone, and the shot behind this is that tashmish was hard for her, and therefore we force him to divorce her and give her her ksuva. This was originally, that was the halacha. Then the chachamim realized that women are going to make up these stories, and really they're not true. So therefore they said, she's not believed to say that she was nensa. She needs to bring a raya. So over here, the Ran asks that Lamaisa, she should be believed because she's saying that she was nensa l'bayla, so we should be choishish for that. And how is the Baal, in fact, mutter to her? So the Ran brings 3 terutzim. Some answer because yesh koyach biyad chachamim la'akar davar min ha'torah, but he doesn't like that because that's only b'shava al tasei, but not b'kum ba'asei, to say that they could still stay married. The Ran says a different pshat, that it's working with kol de mikadesh adaita derabana mikadesh. So over here, since she's saying tmeani, we look at it that she was never married in the first place, and therefore when she was nensa, she was a pnuya, and therefore she's mutter to her husband. But the Ran doesn't like that either, because then that would only work if she was nensa l'ksheir, not if she was nensa l'psula. Then even if she was a pnuya, she wouldn't be allowed to go back to her husband. Lamaisa, the Ran brings a third shot that be'etzem she's talking not nemenes to say tamei anilach, even berishayna, because she's meshubet her husband. But the Chachamim said that she wouldn't make up such a story. It's an embarrassing thing to make up such a story. So therefore we'll say kushta kamer, that she's saying the truth. But be'emes she's talking not believed, and therefore once they had this chashash that women were making up stories, they said that she's not believed and she's muteres l'bayla. The second case, shamayim bini leveinecha, she was saying that she wasn't able to have tashmish with her husband in a way that she would have children. Yatsu derech bakasha, we convince her. The Yerushalmi says that we make a suda for her, convince her to stay married to her husband. And the last case is netula ani mina Yehudim. If she makes an eder that she's aser to everyone, because we thought originally because tashmish is shver to her, but now we're saying that could be she's making up a story. So yafar chelkai v'tei misham shasa v'tei netulim and ayudim. We say that legabe him it's considered dvarim beino lebeina, and therefore he could be made for that chelik of the neder, and the rest of the neder is chal to everyone else, that she can't get married to anyone else, but to her husband she's muteris. The learnings of Ili Nishmas Etta Ahuva Bas Yaakov Maseches Nazir Perik Aleph Mishna Aleph. Kol kinu naziris kinaziris. Kinuyim of naziris have the halacha of naziris. We'll give examples in a second. Ha'omer aha, if someone says aha, and the Gemara explains that there was a nazir walking by, and he's saying that I want to be like that nazir, and the Gemara also says that it has to be that his das is also like that, because you need piv v'libo shavim. Then harei ze nazir. Oyahon nava, referring to his hair. Rashi says he's holding his hair, which is long hair, and the nazir has long hair. So then he's a nazir. So the Gemara explains that these 2 examples that we just said are not examples of kinoi naziris, and therefore you have to put in the Mishnah chsuri mechser v'achi ketani, the same way we did this in Parak Aleph, Mishnah Aleph, and Nedarim, is kol naziris k'naziris, and then kol yadais naziris k'naziris. And now we gave example of yadis. Those are examples of yadis because he didn't use the full lashon of nazir. Now the Mishnah gives examples of kinoi. Instead of saying nazir, you use the word nazik, naziach, or paziach, which we said back in Nedarim as a machlekes Rabbi Yochanan, who says those are lashonos of umais. Reish Lakish says those were lashonos the Chachamim made up because they didn't want you to come to say Hashem's name. So Harei Zen Nazir, he's also a Nazir. The next case of the Mishnahs are back to Yadis, it seems like. Hareini Kizeh, like this Nazir who's walking by, or Hareini Misalsel, he's holding his hair and smoothing his hair like a Nazir. Hareini Mechalkel, making his hair grow long, also like a Nazir. Harei Alei Shaleach Par, which also means let his hair grow long. So all these Lashonis, Harei Zeh, Nazir. The last case in the Mishnah is Harei Alai Tziporim. So Rameir Omer Nazir, Chacham Omer Eina Nazir. What's the machlekes Talian? So Tziporim could be a nedava that he's bringing, but if he says Harei Alai Tziporim, and the Gemara, the Maskanas Gemara, it's machlekes Reish Lakish and Reish Lakish says because there's a pasuk in Daniel that uses the word Kitziprin next to Sar, so it's referring to Naziris. But Maskanas Gemara, Rabbi Yochanan says that we're talking about Nazir Oiver Lefanav. And also, a tzipor is the carbon that a nazir tameh brings, which we'll learn later on in the Masechta. So it's muchach from his words that he's saying, Harei alai tziporim, with the nazir over lefanav, that he means to be a nazir. And the Chachamim argue and say that he's not a nazir.